New Orleans Saints versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers review. This is the Pro Football Focus grades release show with the superstar. All right, so we're going to look at the Pro Football Focus grades, some other metrics, nothing crazy here. We're going to talk about the Bucs Saints game and really kind of a dominant performance from the New Orleans Saints.
Saints, Buccaneers. We'll be extremely quick with this one because I don't want to talk about it very much. No, I'm kidding. We'll give it the full breakdown.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I was about to say, what the hell? What's going on here? I forgot Trevor is a Buccaneers fan. So, you know, it happens to the best of us.
Down that it deserves. 24-20, New Orleans wins this game in Tampa Bay. Another game that really was affected by the weather as it was raining down in Tampa like it was.
Let me say this, though. All right, let me say this. I think it being affected by the weather, and it certainly was affected by the weather. I think it being affected by the weather is, by the way, guys, a little journalistic. You know, I know affect with an E and affect with an A confuses people. Easy way to remember it. Affect with an E is a noun. Affect with an A is a verb. Okay. All right, so this game absolutely was affected by the weather. No doubt about that. I think it hindered the Saints. I think the Buccaneers, the weather played right into what they wanted to do, right? Like we talked about it. The way that the Saints were going to win this game was with Tyler Shough and the passing attack and whatever, but having to run the football was not in the game plan, and the Saints did it well. And on the other side, Tampa, you know, they've got 3 really good running backs, and they're more than happy to run the football, and that's certainly what Todd Bowles led team likes to do. So I think the Saints, you know, like this was a game that was not perfectly built out for the Saints, and they went in there and changed their game plan up. I mean, you could tell from the beginning of the game. At the beginning of the game, Saints came out throwing. They were not going to run the ball. I mean, I'm not saying they never would have, but the plan was not to let's just run it all over the Buccaneers. And when it started to rain like that, I was streaming live, and I said, you know, this is not good for the offense. This was not part of the plan, and they're going to have to adjust and pivot, and did they ever?
In Jacksonville, top 5 graded players that we had for the New Orleans Saints: linebacker Pete Warner with an 84.9, tight end Devaughn Johnson with an 84.1.
Go ahead, Pete. Go ahead,
Cornerback Alontae Taylor with an 80.5. Offensive tackle Kelvin Banks Jr. with a 79.9. Defensive tackle Nathan Shepard rounding things out in the top 5 with a 78.3. But then quarterback Tyler Shough, 83.7.
Pretty wild order here. Why would you put Shough? Why would you not have him at 3? If he has the 3rd highest grade, why would you have a top 5 with 3 omitted, but then include 3 down here? The hell's going on here at Pro Football Focus? So Tyler Shough, 83.7. Shouldn't be any surprise. He was incredible. 3rd highest graded player. Devaughn Johnson was good. Pete Werner was good. Man, is anybody more hit or miss than Pete Werner?
Overall grade. Look at that picture. Got the shoulder pads popping out.
God bless. I mean, this gets me fired up. This gets me fired up right here. Shoulder pads popping out, dirt and mud all over the place.
Pouring rain in Tampa, too. Not that that's breaking news or anything, but
hits, diving into the end zone. On Tampa side of things, defensive tackle Vita Vea with a 90.0.
Stud. Freaking stud. I mean, Vita Vea, Oos. Man, you know, we acknowledge the tribal chief. Unbelievable. Such an awesome player. Then Rachaad White, 71.8. Bucky Irving, 70.8. Gedeke, 68.7. Yaya Diaby, 65.9. Baker Mayfield, 37.6. Good God almighty. I remember when I was 37.6 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Running back Rachaad White with a 71.8. Running back Bucky Irving with a 71.8 for Rachaad White, and then a 70.8 for Bucky Irving. Luke Gedeke, their offensive tackle, with a 68.7. Edge rusher Yaya Diaby, a 65.9. And the Baker Mayfield in this game, a 37.6. I'll start with my most disappointing against Baker Mayfield. I've talked about this for the last 3 weeks straight. Baker Mayfield is not this hot and cold quarterback right now.
Trevor, let me help you out, brother. Let me help you out. All right? As a friend to friend, okay? Do you remember when Baker was not good in Cleveland? Do you remember what was going on towards the end in Cleveland? He was hurt. He was banged up. He was playing through about 6 different injuries. He hurt his shoulder, hurt his ribs. When Baker's healthy, Baker is good. When Baker is gutting out injuries and his mechanics are off and he's missing wide open throws and he can't run and he can't do what he wants to do, it looks like this. Bottom line, he's hurt. That's it. He probably shouldn't be out there. But he's got to be out there because they're trying to win games. But I think that's all there is to it. He's hurt. And,
he's just cold.
He has proved in his entire career when he is banged up and playing through injuries, he is not good.
That's it. Even before the shoulder injury, he's just cold. He was an MVP caliber quarterback for the first 5 weeks of the season.
Yep.
And from week 6 on, he has been one of the most unreliable quarterbacks. He's been one of the most inaccurate quarterbacks, and he has one of the lowest plus accuracy throw percentages in the NFL.
Well, to give him credit, he has, or I guess not, he was inaccurate AF even during that MVP month and a half.
So Baker Mayfield right now is not giving the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a chance to win the game.
Yeah, you're right.
Now, I'm not saying that they should put Teddy Bridgewater in and that Bridgewater would for sure do a better job than Baker Mayfield. But what I am saying is that the way that Mayfield is playing right now is not giving Tampa Bay a chance to win the game.
Yeah, it is negatively affecting, and this is a big-time effect episode. It is negatively affecting the Buccaneers. And it happens sometimes. It happens sometimes a quarterback or a player tries to get through an injury and they are dragging down the team. And I think that's the situation right now in Tampa.
And we've seen that for the last month and a half.
It's been a while. Yeah.
And I don't know if it's the shoulder necessarily, because it's not his throwing shoulder, it's the other shoulder. But, is that affecting him a lot?
Yeah, trust me. As a guy who just jacked up his non-throwing shoulder a couple weeks ago, there's no way I could have thrown a football the same way. My shoulder, that absolutely matters.
The accuracy is so poor. In this game, he had a 37% uncatchable pass percentage.
Yeah, it's crazy.
37%. Almost 40% of your passes are so inaccurate that they're uncatchable.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to win that way.
No.
Unless you have Jonathan Taylor rushing for 250 yards, nobody's going to win like that. And a team that has been as poor as the Saints have all year long can come into Tampa and beat you again. When you play that poorly. So that to me that was my most disappointing, and that sort of goes into the stat that told the story, which I know you're going to talk about here. Third down, fourth down. The Bucs were 2-7 on fourth down. Now, one of those fourth downs was a Hail Mary at the end of the half, so okay, you can take that away. But still, 2 for 6 on fourth down situations. The Saints had your number. They wanted it more. They executed better. Same thing on third down. Third down was barely better. And when you don't have the ability to gain first downs through the air consistently, these are the numbers that you're going to see. So Tampa is going in the absolute wrong direction. They were down Tristan Wirfs in this game. Tristan Wirfs didn't.
Good news for Tampa Bay, Trev, is that the Bucs are getting Tristan Wirfs back next week. Mike Evans back next week. So
play. Mike Evans obviously is not playing. There's a chance that both him and Jalen McMillan could come back. Chris Godwin looks a little bit better.
Yeah.
And so there's a world where very soon, maybe even for Thursday Night Football this week, Tampa's wide receiver core is Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Emeka Egbuka, Jalen McMillan for the first time all season. Perhaps. And
Tristan Wirfs on the offensive line.
Maybe you can convince yourselves that them getting healthier on offense makes things a little bit better. But to be honest with you, it doesn't even matter what receivers are out there because Baker's been so poor at getting them the football.
Yeah, that part's true. I don't care if you have Randy Moss and Terrell Owens. If you're throwing 40% uncatchable passes. Then.
Right now, the early success looks like it was a product of Baker for 5 weeks being the best deep ball passer in the league. As teams have taken that away, he has not found other answers in this game. How about 1 for 10 in the intermediate range with 3 turnover-worthy plays?
Yeah. Yep. That's the killer.
The Saints, Brandon Staley called a really good game when it comes to he's a heavy zone coverage guy, but the Saints did a great job of staying over the top and then mixing it up here and there with man coverage that really confused Mayfield, and he just
this guy's choked. This guy's drowning in front of our eyes. Jesus, this is when you got to call a timeout and go back to Trevor and get this guy some water. He's choking to death in front of our eyes.
Doesn't look confident throwing the ball
there you
right
go.
now. I don't even think it's a mechanical problem. I don't even think, obviously, the injury might be something when it comes to his mechanics, but I don't see anything that different. Tyler Shough, what a gutsy perforance in the pouring
gutsy
rain.
Is a great word for it.
And the Saints, you could feel the Saints, especially as the second half went on, and they smelled blood in the water, man.
New team. Who dis, right? Like, the Saints smelled blood in the water, went after it, aggressive, went and won this game, went and did it. I don't know. It seems like, man, if I could only remember. I can't remember. Maybe y'all can help me remember. Do y'all remember someone was saying, like, you never know who the young players are that's going to kind of usher in a new era. You never know, like, who the players are who's going to step up and kind of be the new identity. Kind of like how Marshawn Lattimore, Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, like, they kind of ushered in that new era. No one really saw it coming. I can't remember who was saying all that. But isn't it interesting now when you look at these games and you look at the new attitude and culture and identity around this team, who do you think of? When I tell you, like, the New Orleans Saints, the Saints smelled blood in the water. They went after it. They won it. In your mind, who are you picturing? Is it Tyler Shough? Is it Quincy Riley? Is it Jonas Sanker? Is it Danny Stutzman? Is it Devaughn Vele? Is it Devin Neal? Is it Chase Young? Like, who is it? Right? Because I got a sneaky feeling it's a bunch of those guys. And it's the new guys. It's this new iteration. Whether it's the young players like Chase Young and Devaughn Vele who are brought in, or whether it's the rookies, or whether it's second-year players like Talise Fuaga and, Kool-Aid McKinstry. That's where we're at. And we're hopefully going to continue taking steps forward with this group. And then we're going to bring in another group. All right? Whether it's through the draft or free agency or whatever. And then all of a sudden, you're going to look around and you're going to see a whole brand new spanking team. And I think we're trending in the right direction.
And Tyler Shough kind of talked about it after the game. He goes, we believed we could beat this team.
Mm-hmm.
Last time it was, Spencer Rattler getting benched at halftime and Shough coming out playing. They just never had a shot in that game. They didn't execute well in that game. But they felt like, I thought Brandon Staley did a great job on defense of just understanding how to limit the big plays for the most part from the Bucs and making them work underneath. Tyler Shough, couple of huge, I'll tell you a couple of big plays more, even as much as the runs. It was a couple of huge throws to Devaughn Vele in a 4-minute drill that they didn't quite get to finish off, but they burned a lot of clock out. There was 2 third-down conversions I was really impressed with late from Shough to Vele. And I just think you have Tyler Shough, who, as opposed to Spencer Rattler in the gunslinging ways that we got earlier in the year with all the turnover-worthy plays, what you're getting with Shough is just an understanding of situations, right? And
he's kind of a gunslinger too. I mean, Shuck's not afraid to turn the ball over either. Shough just on those third downs, like, he just kind of he does have kind of command over that right now, and I feel good when he drops back on 3rd and 6, 3rd and 10, whatever, that he's going to make something happen.
Giving him a chance to win because of that, because he's not giving the football away. No turnover-worthy plays in this game. There was a lot of this game in the passing game for the Saints. It wasn't flashy either. It was pouring rain, but he made enough throws to get it done. He made enough runs to get it done, right? It was 7 carries for 55 yards and the 2 touchdowns. I mean, just doing what it takes to win. It's good that Tyler Shough is learning that right now under Kellen Moore as this team really tries to figure out their identity.
I mean, we talked about it all year long, but this team just doesn't know how to win, right? Like, if something was missing, they don't know what to do. A win like this, now they know. Where you got to go out there and win it, you got to go out there and do it. This team with Tyler Shough and Devin Neal and Quincy Riley, all these young players, they're all finding out at the same time what they've got to do to win the game in different fashions, right? The Panthers game was totally different than the Buccaneers game, and Brandon Staley's figuring that out. Kellen Moore's figuring that out. They're all figuring out, how do we go win these games? What does that look like? How do we win it through the air? How do we win it through the ground? Whatever. How do we do it? And the fact that they're all finding out together, pretty cool.
Shout out to Mario Davis. Shout out Granderson, who I thought was I thought both of those guys just the whole team. Front seven players for the New Orleans Saints. I thought were really able to.
Chase Young was good. Granderson was good. Davis was good. Jordan was good. Everybody was good.
Show up in this game and have some really highly impactful plays.
Shout out the secondary, man. Kool-Aid McKinstry was really good. Alante Taylor with an interception.
Really well.
I'm telling Brandon Staley, there have been certain games this year where Brandon Staley has really had this defense playing up and keeping them in games. And this was absolutely one of them because they were behind for a bit in this game. And when they really figured out that the rhythm they had of the Bucs, they weren't going to get over the top on them, they played deep shell zone early in the game, and it started creeping forward because they knew that space was just, and in the rain especially, that Baker was just not going to get it over the top. It wasn't happening. So
y'all remember when people were crying their eyes out because they were like, well, Brandon Staley and Kellen Moore weren't good with the Chargers. The Easton Stick was the starting quarterback. Wake up. Brandon Staley, I knew it. I knew he was going to come in here, be a fantastic defensive coordinator. He is right now, he is the Fangio disciple. The Fangio defense is right now what dominates in the NFL. Staley was a good DC, was an okay head coach, fell apart at the end there, whatever, but, lost the locker room, all that stuff, but guy can coach defense. And Dennis Allen's the same way where, say what you want about his head coaching tenure at the end there, if he goes somewhere, Chicago's defense is no great shakes, but he goes somewhere, it's like he doesn't forget how to coach defense, right? Like some guys, there's better coordinators, and I'm not saying Staley will never be a head coach again, because if the Saints are good defensively again next year, Staley probably will start getting head coaching looks. I don't think 1 year is enough for him to get it after this year, but if the Saints defense is good next year, Staley probably will be in that group. But as a DC, what he's doing with this group is kind of incredible, and because it's not like he's got all of his guys in here either, right? What the hell would happen if he gets a Caleb Downs, or if he gets a Arvell Reese? Like, man, this defense might be legit pretty quick, right? So, yeah, it's coming into form. But let's take a look at some of these metrics. All right, so this is Tyler Shough. This is the Kevin Cole, his quarterback grading and efficiency. This is only week 14, okay? EPA per play is your y-axis, and PFF offensive grade is your x-axis. Tyler Shough's up here. Big-time grade, obviously. Big-time game. Really, really good stuff from him. So that's just kind of where he's at. Just week 14. So don't think this is where he is for the whole season. For the whole season, he's closer to the middle there, but it's only been a couple games. And then if you look at the actual PFF grades, they showed some of this, but Jawan Johnson, 84.1. Tyler Shough, 83.7. Kelvin Banks, 79.9. Foster Moreau, 76.8. Chris Olave, 72.6. Devaughn Vele, 69.0. Cheeky, the worst. Taysom Hill. Cesar Ruiz, not good again, but, Vita Vea is on the other side of it. And then, Awesome Richards, he ended up getting hurt. Some of these guys down here. Devin Neal, 57.2. Gritty, grinded out game for him, 100%. And then defensively, Pete Werner, 84.9, Alante, 80.5, Nathan Shepard, 78.3, Terrell Burgess, 77.9, Chris Rump, 77.8, Michael Davis, 76.4 on 7 snaps, 75.1 for Carl Granderson, 73.6, Kool-Aid McKinstry, 71.8, Danny Stutzman, 68.4, Jordan Howden. Just greens across the board. Chase Young, Quincy Riley had the lowest grades of starters, I guess, like a lot of play there. But there's your grades for the New Orleans Saints offense and defense for PFF. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. I always appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.